how you guys doing out there? It's Joe and Darren over at Urban Hillsides Real Estate with another thrilling episode of Real Estate Reality. We're your hosts, and we take you into our world. We look at seller wins, buyer wins. We pick out a topic, and we try to point out some interesting things in real estate that we've discovered this week. And certainly, Darren, right, the most interesting thing is what happened yesterday in the form of an interest rate hike from the Fed.
Sure. Expected, but still interesting when it actually officially happens.
All right?
Yeah.
It's all like set now. We know. Okay, well, great. Before I get too far into it, let me go ahead and do our disclaimer. Darren Hubert and Joe Cloninger are real estate agents at Avenue 8 under the Urban Hillsides brand. All opinions expressed by Urban Hillsides or guests on this video are solely their opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Avenue 8. You should not treat any opinion expressed by Urban Hillsides as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of Urban Hillsides team's opinions. This video is for informational purposes only. Okay. Darren, maybe just to get it out of the way, I wanted to point out Art Unite is coming. We're at 8 weeks and counting. And of course, I feel very much behind the wheel. So everyone out there, please participate, whether you're an artist, an audience member, a bidder, lover of art, all those great things. Please spread the word. Artunite.org. You can learn more. And Darren, I don't know if you had time to look at the email, but we have a wonderful piece that I put on our email called Tibetan Boy. And it's from a trust. The trustee is donating the piece, and they're both Echo Park residents. So thank you, Martin Cox,
Sure.
and also Isa Kai Mexon Living Trust.
Sure. Issa K is well known in Echo Park.
Right, and
Yeah.
Ying Ming Tu, Echo Park artist and international exhibitor of his art. So very, very cool. So we're going to start getting some art out. We're going to start getting you guys excited about this, but get it on your calendars. And in the spirit of support for arts and good causes in the area, I wanted to bring up Frogtown Art Walk. Darren, I'm sure you've been to it. I've been to it over the years, but just wanted to point out it is coming out this week, well, this weekend rather. And so let me just show you guys the site. Get out of that.
I will say when you pull that up, it'll be exciting to see this year. Pre-COVID was our first year. First year's always, working things out, connecting with people. But the next 2 years we've done this, we're under COVID with restrictions. This year I think it hopefully fourth year, I believe, and kind of mostly post-COVID. It's exciting to see what it'll bring this year.
Yes. Well, and this is the thing. We have an online portion, which is the auction, and for others that can't make the live event, and that's what's kind of gotten us through, right, the last 2 years. And of course, we'll definitely have a live event, and certainly COVID is around, but as Biden says, he thinks it's over. But it's certainly a more friendly environment for all of us to participate as a community. Yeah. So
Yes.
Anyway, it's a weekend event, Frogtown Art Walk. Check it out. And evartscollective.com. They put a lot into it. Okay, so Darren, I guess, we're always talking about this now every week of the market snapshot. But this is also now about trends and observations. So let me go ahead and move over to what we normally do, Mortgage News Daily and .com. And let's see. And we'll look at the mortgage rates. There it is. Let's see.
Right, they moved up. They're bucking the trend from the last Fed funds rate hike.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, we're hitting highs here. Over the last 5 days, we've seen it go up, let's see, from September 15th, 0.03, 0.02, 0.07, 0.05, and then yesterday went down, as you noted to me, which might seem odd to some people, and then it went back up today, 0.26.
And I believe, I can't see on my screen the scaling on those numbers, but we are at the highest number at this point. I believe it's the highest rates have been.
Yeah.
In some time. Yeah.
I think 2008 is kind of the marker now.
Yeah.
For getting into this range. So, yeah.
Yep.
So we'll talk about it further. Just wanted to show that because we normally do it. The other one that's kind of interesting that we've started, Darren, is, let's see here, is that Fear and Greed Index from CNN. Kind of interesting. Now, whether it's fear or greed, there's always opportunity, right? So we show this to only show kind of the general view of where people are feeling right now. So we're definitely on the fear side. Market momentum, extreme fear. We're talking about the stock market. Stock price strength, neutral. So, and then stock price breadth, neutral. Put and call options, which are always dicey. Extreme fear. And then market volatility, it is in fear. Now, this is all, again, towards the stock market, but it gives us some sense of how people are feeling.
Well, a lot of the people in the stock market are wealthy people, and they can have they have an influence on real estate and the direction it moves in.
Yeah.
But that's what the fear component is. We talk about the emotions behind financial elements, and that's it. I loved it when you brought that up the first time, and it feels like we're in fear. I mean, I feel it. That's where people are at, and fear is volatility.
Right.
It's just being cautious.
So let me go ahead and reference at least one of these articles that we talked about. Let's see here. I think this one here. Gosh, they're both good.
Yeah, go with that one.
Yeah.
The Inman one's a little more realtor driven, thought through.
I mean, the only point on that one was just kind of the prediction of interest rates and where they might go. Was for me kind of like, that's it. But anyway, so here we are. This is therealdeal.com. This is an industry website that a lot of brokers and realtors look at, developers, people in the real estate industry. And the article here reads, August home sales rose 8% in SoCal despite summer slowdown. Sales last month were still down 28% year over year. So let's get into this real quick.
I feel like a broken record, but that's on volume. 28% down on volume of sales.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Okay, hold on. Here we are. We're getting there. All right. Despite a summer cooling trend in Southern California's housing market, home sales ticked up nearly 8% in August thanks to a one-month dip in mortgage rates. Home prices and sales, which had been dropping for the previous several months, leveled off or increased last month, the Orange County Register reported. The reprieve could be short-lived as inflation, Federal Reserve rate hikes, and a rebound in home loan borrowing costs push sales and home prices lower in the months ahead. Bidding wars remain scarce. Buyers are sidelined by a 47% jump in the typical house payment, and discouraged owners are shying away from the market as homes take longer and longer to sell. The train kind of left the station as far as overbidding on properties. Gail Anderson, an agent with iNet Realty in Irvine, told the Register. For $750,000 properties, we were getting offers close to $900,000. That's not happening anymore. There's no longer multiple offers. He added, no more lines at open houses. The 6-county Southern California region had 17,698 home sales in August, up 7.9% from July, according to CoreLogic numbers released by DQ News. The median price of a Southern California home, or the price at the midpoint of all sales, was $740,000, unchanged from July. That's a turnaround from previous month-to-month declines after 30-year mortgage rates dipped to 5% in July and early August. Nonetheless, Nonetheless, last month's sales still were down 28% year over year, dropping to the second worst tally for an August in records dating back 34 years. It was the smallest number of sales for an August since 1992. The region median home price, meanwhile, was up a mere 8.8% from a year ago, tied for the smallest appreciation rate since the pandemic lockdowns all but halted sales in the spring of 2020. Southern California home values had been rising an average of 15% for the previous 2 years. Lofty home values, coupled with a near doubling of the 30-year fixed mortgage rate, boosted the typical payment on a median-priced home by $1,055 a month. The typical Southern California home took at least 38 days to sell in August, or about a week to 12 days longer than in the summer of 2021, Redfin figures show. Sales listings, meanwhile, are up dramatically from the start of the year. As of August, the number of homes for sale in Los Angeles, Orange, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties had jumped to 28,286 listings, up 61% from December, according to Redfin. Homes are taking longer to sell, and fewer owners are putting their properties on the market. New listings dropped 30% from a year ago to just under 13,000 in August. And back to yesterday's news, I guess, Darren, just go ahead and explain what happened yesterday, because that kind of sets the context as well.
Sure. Well, the Fed funds rate was adjusted up by 3/4 of a point. As expected, there was a possibility that it would have even been 1 point. There was some speculation around that. But the harsh tone still from the Fed is often what matters, meaning that they put out this 3/4 and they're like, we're not stopping until we cut inflation. The most important thing is for us to stop inflation from rising and continuing to persist. So, we'll see what the next inflation numbers are. But I believe the rates were moving up as we approached the date in anticipation of the increase. But it's really the language after that will say will continue to be aggressive that is ultimately going to continue to push the rates up beyond. Because on the last increase, the language was, hey, I think we're getting this under control. And ironically, they moved it up in interest rate, 30-year interest mortgage rates dropped. But I don't think that's going to happen this go round. I think they're going to stay up.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's not just about that day, yesterday, but it's setting the tone, right? 3 in a row, 0.75 basis points up. I think that's a record. A recent record.
Is. With a half point. I believe it was a half point before that, even.
Right.
So
and a total of so far 5 hikes in this year. But it's about projecting into next year and beyond. And I believe there are a couple more announcements. November, December, I think even October.
There's going to be more downward pressure on the market. There isn't a lot of hope in the near future for this to turn around. It's the bottom line is I'd like to call it it's a balanced market again. I don't know that it's a buyer's market. Certainly buyers feel empowered because they've had almost no power. They've been powerless. They've been
anything is a plus.
Submissive to sellers for a very long time. So they have to feel empowered with what's going on. But ultimately, it's a balanced market at the moment. It certainly has not flipped.
And that's what I keep hearing, right? The recurring theme of, hey, it's tough medicine now, but it would be far tougher medicine later. These are the steps that need to be taken. It's hard to accept it when you're a buyer and you're sitting in this moment. But overall, as you're saying, this is an effort towards a balanced market.
Absolutely. And historically, it's easy to look back and identify things. You don't hear people saying this, but I believe through many of the Trump years, there was massive the market was artificially inflated with a lot of pressure on keeping rates low, and a lot of tax breaks, and a lot of things that put a lot of money into the economy, which overstimulated it, and it made them set up and say, "See, look how great we are." Of course, they're going to force
Yeah.
a rebound from that.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and that's kind of where we're at. And then you add the all the money put out because of the pandemic,
Yeah.
then it overextended, and inflation has just gone nuts, man. So they
Well,
do have to get it under control.
yeah. So, I wrote down some notes, and I invite you to agree or disagree. I'll just throw it out there, and you give me your thoughts.
Sure.
So, as I was looking at all this, for buyers, I wrote down, if you have the financial ability, buy now with less competition and lower rates. Rates are not easing, but buyers, as you just said, have more leverage now in negotiation. So that's the take I felt for buyers. What
They
adjustments
do.
would you make on that?
Well, they it's a more balanced game. So in the past, you're so I'll use the example that we were talking about today. We were with preparing for a new listing, and we said, you know what? Probably for the first time in 10 years, cash matters.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people would still come to the table. Well, I have cash. Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Right.
People can get loans. Why would we give any discount because of cash? Well, volatility, now loans might fall out. Rates may change in the middle of a transaction. Maybe it's locked in. Maybe their lenders aren't as strong.
Yeah.
Cash matters. Size of down payment matters now. It will have more of an impact on getting an offer accepted.
Very true.
And it didn't before. It was very minimal before. It was just a matter of what contingencies were you going to remove. So all those things are evolving, and we have to adapt. So yes, buyers have some leverage, and they have some opportunity, and there is no expectation that rates will drop soon. If you plan on buying, in my opinion, and I always try to limit the predictability into the future, how far out. But if you plan on buying this year, now is as good as any time that you'll get in interest rates.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, I wrote down this note. For sellers, you can wait it out, but it may be a while before prices will come back to recent levels. Are you willing to wait? Do you need to move on with your life? Then be reasonable with your price and expectations. Work with your agent. That's what I wrote down. What do you think?
Yeah, we're having more and more of those talks nowadays.
And that's the thing. This is such a short statement I made, but there are whole other stories, individual, personalized, in terms of what people want to do.
There were elements of one of the challenges I personally had for a while of being a selling agent was really, it was who showed up and who was the biggest cheerleader.
I see.
Because they you're going to support my price, right? My house looks amazing. Just support me because all these other people are telling me everything I want to hear. And it was fine. It worked out in their favor because the market was just so much in their corner. But now there's some harder talks, and the sellers who don't want to participate in those conversations and want to be not pay attention to them, not believe them, could suffer. They could ultimately spend time and money prepping their house, and it won't sell. And it's still, no matter what market you're in, the first impression is the best impression. And the early activity in a listing is the most likely to bring the best price. Period, for sellers. Overpricing your market, overpricing your property in a softening market is a mistake.
Okay, and then let's see, I put here, for buyers and sellers, find experienced agents that know the market and have a level of success that is not fully based on an up market of the last 10 years plus. Many agents look successful because of the last market. Find the right agent. Finding the right agent is more important now more than ever. Interview agents and be tough. Houses are not selling themselves. Purchases are not happening magically.
Right. In the last 2 weeks, um, I told one seller to maybe he should try selling the house on his own, um, based on his expectations.
Yeah.
And if he sells it, fantastic. But
Yeah.
um, someone was questioning commission in a conversation, and I know the volume of stuff that a more experienced, knowledgeable agent who really does all the front loaded work in going to
Right.
market on a listing does.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was the same thing. I'm like, no, I'm not going to adjust. I'm going to
Yeah.
do too much. It's not
Yeah.
worth it. You go ahead and find someone else. I think
Yeah.
be a better match for you.
Yeah.
So there is going to be work. There is going to be there's going to be grind. You're going to have to go out and create and evaluate and adapt and do maybe what I think you're better at, Joe, than I am even, and that is like pursue every little piece of opportunity.
Yeah.
Look for that needle in the haystack and just be
Right.
diligent about it. That will become more important through this market.
Got it. And then finally, for me, I just put down for agents. Well, you just said it. Find new ways to get the deal done. Work together.
Yeah. There will be new ways. In my experience of the last market shift was certainly there was plenty of technology and inventions. Real estate's always dynamic and shifting because there's so much money in the real estate world.
Right.
Agents spend a lot of money to try to connect with clients, and often that's through technology and various ways. So that absolutely happens in an up market, and in between markets, there's a pause. But then there's another explosion of it if it becomes a down market, because the lingo becomes, well, hey, you need buyers, right? We've got the buyers, or this is how you connect. And there's just always, no matter what the market is, there's technology and shifting in real estate. And being aware, I think a lot of it is garbage. But if there's a few opportunities in there, you have to be able to identify them and pursue them.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Anything else? Kind of as the end point on this one?
And this article I thought was had a couple points, but lost a few of them. I was noticing the 34-year timeline.
Yeah.
That's you're coming out of the so the last time the volume was that low, you're talking about coming out of 17, 18% interest rates.
Yeah,
that was late 80s.
Yeah.
When the market just fell for many years. We're nowhere near those percentages on interest rates.
Yeah.
Like
we said, it's hard to keep it all in context because there's numbers, there's your own personal comfort, discomfort about it all. But that really hits it on the head.
Yeah.
You should feel fortunate. Okay. Well, what I wanted to do was go ahead and segue into our sold seller wins and buyer wins. But as we've been doing lately, kind of just look at the general numbers and see if we can read the tea leaves a bit. And again, I think there's some changes in this one. What did you think?
Well, I mean, there's a larger percentage of there's certainly a larger percentage of reduced sales, sold below list price.
Yeah.
And the numbers are increasing, meaning that initially it was that 10, 20, 25,000,
Yeah.
Now there's a 74, a 58, a 49. So
Yeah.
those numbers are getting a little bigger.
Yeah. Well,
But
one thing I did that's kind of new on this one is I added above the percentage above or below
yeah, I
list.
saw that. Yeah.
And I mean, it's pretty obvious now, but for one of the first times in a long time, yeah, you actually had increases that were more reasonable, just in the five figures as opposed to six figures. We just had two there at the top, and more reduced prices.
Right.
So
Yeah. And these, again, broken record, but we're always looking back, right? I think of
mm-hmm.
some of these. Maybe they were 60-day escrows, and that
Oh,
matters.
yeah, that's a good point.
When they hit the market becomes the most important thing. We were meeting with a client today, and we were very specific about we're looking at comps now that have closed in the last 2 months, and even those comps listed 3 to 4 months ago.
Yeah,
So you just have to look at the most recent activity um, to try to determine a direction in the end.
right. Okay, well, let's go ahead and move into the next segment of our live stream, seller wins and buyer wins. I'm going to open up the MLS.com, and we are going to start with 533 Marie Avenue. Let me just. Okay. So this started at. Let me pull it up. Let's see. So this started at 998,000 list price, and it ended at 1,310,000 for a $312,000 increase. And let's see what they saw. This is 533 Marie Avenue, again, Highland Park, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,473 square feet of living space. Sold for $1,310,000. 5,750 square feet is the lot size, and this took 14 days on market. And let's see here. This is brought to us by Dan Mancinelli and Brian Moore. And then on the buy side, Tricia McMullen. So, it started at 998, very reasonable, but I don't think they thought it would stay there.
Yeah, they've had a couple listings that started at 998, 999
yeah?
recently that have sold way over. So
Yeah.
well, this is a trend that we talk about, and these guys are doing this for sure,
Mm-hmm.
of substantially underpricing. So it's a risk. Speaking with our speaking today about it, but it's certainly, even in this market, is getting a lot of people to listings, and in some cases it's working to their benefit, and the prices are going up as they hoped they would, and they're getting sold early. So
Yeah.
this is a case where it worked. That price is too low. It is a very charming house, mid-century, sells very well in those neighborhoods. The patio's great, the views are great, it's completely finished, and it's way underpriced.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, they were fortunate. It found its level. Good for
Yeah.
them. All right, next, let's move on. And we're going to go to, let's see, Collis, 4421 Collis Avenue. This started at 999,000 list price, ended at 1,230,000 for a $231,000 increase. And we like Collis, right? Collis is a nice street.
Yeah, it's we do. It's a part of El Sereno. El Sereno is very diverse. It covers a lot of geography, and there's different energy in different pockets. I like this pocket.
So 4421 Collis Avenue. This is El Sereno. It's 3 bedrooms, 3-bath, 1,742 square feet of living space. I love that refrigerator. $1,230,000 was its final price, and 7,500 square foot lot. So that's a good sized lot for us. Days on market, 2. And as I said, started list price $999,000. This was brought to us by Amy Grabber and Tom Hernandez on the buy side. So Amy represented the seller, Tom Hernandez represented the buyer.
And when was this listed, Joe?
When?
Yeah, what was the list date?
Let's see, list date. Well, contract date was August 6th.
Okay, well, that's good enough.
List date 8/4. Yeah, August.
So still August. I think that pocket is interesting. It's very easy to bring someone in there and go, "Wow, I never knew this existed. I love this pocket."
Yeah.
Because it's, and I'm not saying this one was underpriced, but it's a nice house, finished, 1,700 square feet, very close to the known Highland Park, but technically in El Sereno. And I think a lot of buyers will easily transition into this pocket and be pleasantly surprised with how much more house they can get.
Yeah.
Because you move over a quarter mile into Highland Park and this house probably goes up another 200,000.
That's a really good observation because, it's very Highland Park. It's very Eagle Rock. And, you're going to pay a premium. But as we've seen, El Sereno prices have gone up as well. But, there's still good value there.
Yes.
So, okay. Next, we will move on to... We're going to go to 5210 Granada Street. This started at a list price $925,000, and it ended at $1,011,000 for an $86,000 increase. This is in Highland Park. Let's take a look. Okay. All right. Okay, 5210 Granada Street, Highland Park, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 961 square feet of living space. $1,011,000 sold price. It's on a small lot, 2,500 square foot lot. And let's see, 12 days on the market. And this was brought to us by Kelly Luis. And on the buy side, Elga Kazinchi and Megan Farrell representing the buyers. I found a couple interesting things about this. So I think it's really a 711 square foot home officially. And then they did some bonus space. They developed the basement, and I think there's a bathroom down there. But what was more interesting was that what they're calling, what's it called? Chroma, hold on. Chroma Cabana. Chroma Cabana. So they claim to have rented that Chroma Cabana out for $65,000 a year for photo shoots. I guess basically photo shoots and video shoots because of its uniqueness. So looks good.
It does look good, and I think it's charming. Wow, good for them.
Yeah.
That's somebody adapting and making things work to their benefit. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's see. Let's move on. Boom. Okay. The next one for seller wins is 4607 Melbourne Avenue. And let's see. This is in Los Feliz. It listed at $1,525,000, ended at $1,575,000 for a $50,000 increase in its sold price. And let's bring this up. 4607 Melbourne Avenue, Los Feliz, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,621 square feet of living space. Sold price $1,575,000. Lot size 6,764 square feet. Days on market 22. And let's see, this is coming from, Todd Henricks. Oh no, I'm sorry. Alexandra Kerr. Oh no, where am I looking? Oh, yeah, there you go. Todd Henricks on the seller side, Alexandra Kerr on the seller side. And on the buy side, we had Serene Chan and Luisa Ramos representing the buyer. So,
Yeah, I mean, it looks clean. The detached structure, I'm sure, helps. Looks like a
yeah,
garage with an extension.
you're very right. Yeah.
Has a tremendous amount of value in this market. Um, move-in ready. Looks like it could use maybe some upgrades,
Yeah.
but certainly looks move-in ready.
Yeah.
So
Well, and it's we always talk about character. I mean, this has kept its character. Yes, it may need
yeah,
some upgrades, but down to the picket fence, it's a real charming
yeah,
property.
it's nice curb appeal. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We will move on now to buyer wins, and I think there were one or two, Darren, that we picked out before that were interesting here. So we'll go off to 2416 Reservoir Street. And this started at $1,150,000 list price and ended up at $1,120,000 for a $30,000 reduction.
Yep.
And yeah, right. We know this house, 2416 Reservoir Street. This is Silver Lake, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 997 square feet of living space. Sold for $1,120,000. Lot size 4,400 square feet, and days on market 39. It took a while. And let's see, this is brought to us by, on the seller side, Dino Biotti, and on the buyer side, Gregory Carslan. Gosh, I just ruined that. Anyway, we know a similar property not too far away. What do you think? Did somebody get a deal for this neighborhood?
It's a move-in ready house. It's quaint, but it is a good pocket. Finding something in that neighborhood that's move-in ready for 1-1 is probably good. I would say 1-3 was more the norm 3 to 4 months ago. So,
well, okay,
yeah.
yeah, you make a good point, because I'm looking at the original list price, and like you said, where it started, list date 6/17, it was $1,250,000.
Yeah.
And 39 days later, now we're at $1,120,000. So that's kind of pointing out what we've been discussing today.
Yeah, probably going on $1,250,000, hoping to get up to $1,300,000.
Yep. All right. And I think they only had that home like maybe a year or two. So, but they got out. They moved on. All right. Next, we are going to. This is with the one. 5228 Eagle Rock Boulevard. This started at $2,749,000. It ended out at $2,700,000 for a $49,000 reduction in price. But we love this house.
Yeah.
Some unpermitted spots, but
some large unpermitted spots.
Yeah. Well, yeah. First off, 19,000 square foot lot. Whoa.
Yeah.
But let me continue here. 5228 Eagle Rock Boulevard. This is Eagle Rock, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,241 square feet of living space. Sold for $2,700,000, 19,000 square foot lot, and 23 days on the market. And this was brought to us by Charlie Clark. And on the buy side, Jeff Clark represented the buyer. And I don't even think that 2,241 is the full square footage. I think it's...
No, it's not. It does not include the very large bonus spaces.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
here it goes. Let's see here. Public records say the house is 2,062 square feet. It measures out at 2,241. Two-story bonus structure was built by prior owner. Pulled permits and cannot find the finalized copies. The square footage of bonus structure was measured by REST at 1,696 square feet. So the total is 3,937 square feet.
Yeah, it's huge.
Wow.
It's great.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a great neighborhood. It's a lot of charm. If someone has a specific use for that existing space, a dedicated use specifically, then there's a lot of value there.
Yeah.
Um,
Here's a funny line in agent remarks, but I'm sure it's earnest. If your clients ask about price per square foot, advise them well. All right. Maybe that helped. All right. Next, we will roll off to. This was an interesting one. 1060 Oneonta Drive. Huge square footage, if I remember. So this started at $1,599,000. It ended at $1,540,500 for a $58,500 reduction in price. I almost want to say this was a recent sale, and I think they may have improved this a bit. That's my guess. Anyway, 1060 Oneonta Drive. This is Mount Washington, 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 4,108 square feet of living space. Sold for $1,540,500. 5,500 square foot lot. 27 days on the market. And this is brought to us by Melinda Ray. Amy Walker and Tracy Doe. And on the buy side, Susie Park represented the buyer. I don't know why, but those arches are reminding me of a house a while back. Maybe I'm wrong. But, good deal?
Sure. I mean, in a shifting market, it's a good square footage. Onions is a good street. I know they were working hard to try to get this sold. It didn't sell quickly. Small lot. It's this street is an outside curve, so you're going to get a lot of street exposure. That's one negative on this. That may have been a struggle to help get it sold. You just want to have a lot of privacy in a yard. I think it's a good deal. It's charming. There's definitely some charming elements.
Wow, man. So just reading the records. So this started as a listing. Let's see, 9/23/2021 at $1,950,000.
Yeah.
It went $1,899,999, and $1,749,947, $1,700,000, $1,649,000, and $1,599,000. Here we are, $1,540,500.
Wow.
So that was a journey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a big. We're not showing that price reduction.
No.
And that's an interesting point, though, right?
Okay.
The agent insider perspective. You won't see that. It won't show up in the evaluation in a traditional. Here's your list price. Here's your sold price. But in addition to that, I will say this: what makes it harder to show big gaps on the sales side is that if you list whatever price you list at and you get offers over list price, you're not going to change anything in the MLS. You're going to say, listed 1.5, sold 2 million. Boom, that's
right.
MLS is done. But if you list at 1.5 and you get no activity, and you reduce to 1.4, you reduce to 1.3, and then you sell for 1.295.
Yeah.
When we're evaluating, it's going to show up as it sold 5,000 below list price.
Right.
Because that was the recent list price.
Yeah.
So interesting element, which we're not used to evaluating because the market is changing, is to see where these things started. Have they had price reductions?
Well, and just another thing, we were talking about higher quality of agent, making sure you're not, hiring your brother-in-law's son who just got their license. Past listing, agent who did absolutely, and seller who did absolutely no work on the house whatsoever and wanted $1,950,000.
Right.
So, changing market again. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we move on to Lucille. This was interesting. 1888 Lucille Avenue. This started at $699,000, and final price $625,000 for a $74,000 reduction. Let's see here. You probably saw this house. This is your neck of the woods. Or, well, my neck of the woods too, I guess. Huh? Oh, I remember this one. Gosh, man, they're all a blur. Hold on. Okay, so this is 1888 Lucille Avenue. This is Silver Lake, 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,009 square feet of living space. 5,000 square foot lot, sold for $625,000. Days on market 29. And congrats to Elias Tabach, Tracy Doe on the seller side, and then on the buyer side, Leanna Fung. So work to do here, but I remember it was far from the street. I think we may have showed this to somebody. It was just hard to get.
Yeah, and they're representing on the last photo there the build out. I don't know if they're mentioning plans, approved plans, ready to build, if they're mentioning any of that. Yeah. But
well, okay, now I'm remembering this. So there was this address, and I didn't look it up, but there was 3627 Landa Street, which is the other side. And yeah, development for one house on one side, one house on the other. And you had to buy it together. So I don't know what that 3627 Landa cost. I guess I should look it up. Let's see. So yeah, there was a catch here. Let me go over there real quick. 36. Great views. Let's see. Let me go 3627 Landa. Oops. Sorry. Okay. Well, maybe it didn't sell. Hold on. No. Here we come. Yep. So that sold for... $525,000. So that's the rest of the story there. Yeah, that was $599,000 list price. So,
got it.
oh, I think it's a stair street too. Yeah.
Finding selling development properties has definitely been more challenging, and that's what this is. I mean, in general, it sounds like this is actually a second opportunity, and the combination of being able to build two houses and sell them independently for, 1.1 million sounds pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see that on the market someday. Okay, so we are done now with seller wins and buyer wins. Let me move over now to actives. And let me change this here. Boom. Okay. All right. Oh, and Darren, hopefully we'll make it through actives. I bought some more RAM for my computer. So maybe we'll get it through without that little intermission. So let's see.
Good. All right. Well, I'm going to be quick here because I know we're running a little long. I've got some highlighted. Let's start with 6375 Adelaide Place.
Okay. This looks like it's Highland Park. Okay. Now, why did you pick out this one?
I like what looks like a 4-car garage, big turnaround, and a reasonably priced house.
Yeah.
I must say I'm not a big fan of the finishes.
Sure.
But
value. We're seeing value here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, 6375 Adelaide Place, Highland Park, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,631 square feet of living space, and so active 1,399,900 is the list, and 8,200 square foot lot, and it's been on the market so far 6 days. This is brought to us by Zina Jalajel. All right. All these difficult names.
Well, it looks like they shifted the floor plan around and the fireplace with the old tile became part of the master bedroom. That's interesting. So they did a lot of things here I would not agree with, but I like the large open flat space and the very large garage. I see value there,
Well,
opportunities.
this is what's called a duplex home, Darren. So,
Yeah.
6375 Adelaide Place, 1003 North Avenue 64.
Yeah. Corner
So,
lot. I see the two structures on the
yeah,
aerial. Yeah.
yeah. So, pretty good deal, at least now. All right, next, let's move on. Okay,
Um,
it's another
3663 division.
3663 Division. All right, Division. All right. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so 3663 Division Street. This is Glassell Park, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, 733 square feet of living space on a 3,898 square foot lot. Listed at 735,000. Open house 9/25. I think that's what, Saturday? No, Sunday. 2 to 5. And days on market 7 so far. This is brought to us by Kurt Wisner and Alyssa Valentine. And what do you have to say?
Underpriced.
Right.
For sure.
Man.
This is why I picked it. And now that you've provided more details and agent info, it's just they're targeting multiple offers.
Yeah.
So they'll probably get it.
Yeah.
It's finished. It looks clean. It's got some charm. It's small, but it's
Yeah.
got a very manageable backyard. It's on a semi-busy street, which is
Yep.
a turnoff to some people.
True.
But at 735, it'll be one that we'll call out in the future as a selling above list price property.
Yep. For sure.
Yep.
All right. Couple more. What do you got?
Oh, be entertained by 4731 Los Feliz Boulevard.
I'm sorry, 4731 Los Feliz. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, 4731 Los Feliz Boulevard. This is Los Feliz, of course. 5 bedrooms, 6 bath, 6,504 square feet of living space. Listed at $6,900,000. Huge lot, 27,945. Yeah, some neat details. And this is just got on the market, 1 day old. And let's see here. Brought to us by Lionel Katz. Wow.
Really cool house, charming, a lot of old original details.
Yeah.
School place.
Yeah. Gosh, I wonder if it's is it in the overpriced mode? I mean, he's
I don't even know.
for that 1,000 square foot.
Yeah. I'll help you find a $6 million house, and I'll look at all the comps and do my best, and I will understand it all, but it's not day-to-day activity, man.
Right. Well, I'm looking at a valuation tool. I'm just curious what this valuation tool might say. Let's see. It says 5,398, 477. So we'll see where it goes.
All right.
Yeah, a lot of house. Very, very beautiful house. Okay.
I've got one more, man.
Oh, go, man. Go.
Let's do 910 North Benton.
910. Is that near our Benton? Let's see. 910
Yes.
Benton. It is. Okay. Oh, Benton. Okay. Oh. Benton. Okay. All right. Did we see this one last? trying to remember. Let's see. All right.
No, it's further south.
Got it.
Yeah, it's next to
Near 24.
the big the project's small lot subdivision.
So 910 North Benton Way, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This is Silver Lake, 1,574 square feet living space. Wow, listed at $1,595,000. 7,500 square foot lot. Let's see, today there's an open house, 5 to 7 for a twilight open house, and then 9/24, which is Saturday, 2 to 4. This is brought to us by, let's see, 7 days on the market so far, and let's see, brought to us by Joanna Soul and Bradley Holmes. So aggressively going after that top price. Here we go.
Yeah, Benton here is definitely a little busier, and they just built up next door to it multiple small lot subdivisions. But you can peek out of a few photos. They've attempted to kind of keep them out a little bit, as most would. So yeah, I'll be curious to see if they get this in this market.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, that's it.
All right. Let me just go through my actions here. Let's see. Stop that screen. So, Darren, any parting shots? Anything we may have not said?
Well, I'll say this. We had a client the other day make a comment that was kind of getting upset about how quickly they had to make decisions in real estate. It's a pretty normal thing. It's been a normal thing for a long time, and it's uncomfortable for some people.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to have a little more time to process. And that to me is comforting. So get in there quick, get the information so that you can have time to process. In the past, it was like you had to get there quick, you had to decide quick, you had to move quick, everything had to be quick.
Yeah.
Getting there quick is still valid and valuable, but you'll have a little time to process now.
Good. Okay. Well, there we go. That's a good one. We'll end on that, guys. We'll see you next week, Thursday, 2 o'clock. If you like what we're doing, follow us, like us, subscribe, all those great things, and support what we're doing. All right? Take care. Have a good one.
Bye.
See ya.